What's up, my crypto legends? In this episode, I have Nathalie here. She is going to do some analysis for us on Bitcoin. She's going to go to the higher time frames, lower time frames. She's going to explain what she sees on the charts. Nathalie, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you, Andy?
I'm doing absolutely phenomenal. It's really warm here where I live, so it's absolutely fantastic. Hope you are doing well. Hope you have really nice weather also.
I have that. Finally, it came to
Okay.
Sweden too.
That's
Eventually.
absolutely fantastic. All right, Nathalie. Well, let's just get straight into the content. And
Yes.
yeah, if you can share the screen, tell us, what do you see using your information, what you know? I know you are a Fibonacci expert. You always use Fibonacci, which
Yeah.
I also use it sometimes, and it's absolutely a fantastic tool. Let us know what you can see, Nathalie, please, on the Bitcoin chart.
Yes. I first of all want to show you that I am in a long position right now on Bybit. I bought the market at 29,000, around that level, and we're about to reach my target at 30,100. And I actually have a sell limit order at the exact level where I do have my take profit. So some good profits now, so we're about to head up to it. So I will show you exactly why I took it. But first of all, I want to show you on the 3-monthly chart. I've been talking about this on my community also. Every single day I keep reminding everyone about how important the 3-monthly chart is. So as you guys know, I use the Fibonacci, and the first thing that I'm going to do is that I drag it from the last low that we do have around 6,115 back to the high at 58,370. So from low to the high, because you can see that this was the high Bitcoin created, and at the moment we need to come back down to create a higher low. And this is what a lot of people get confused, is that when they see this huge movement now to the downside, I know a lot of people freak out, but when it comes to how the market is moving, when you create a higher high, the market needs to come back down to create a higher low for then create another higher high. We just might also obviously see the market continue back down. But as long as we are inside these two Fibonacci levels, I still wait for the market to reverse back up. So this is why the 3-monthly chart is really important for me, at least. So we go down to the lower time frames and just try to understand exactly what happens. The last week, we did have this huge wick, and by just back testing, usually what happens is that the market feels this week. And we've been talking about this before with our previous collaborations and our live streams.
Yeah.
And so first of all, I don't do so much right now at the weekly. The only thing that I recognize is that I do believe that we will come back down to this level, and the level is at 25,300, and that is slightly above the 61.8%. And then we go down to the lower time frames just to try to understand what we'll look at. So go back to the weekly chart. What I also did was that I used this previous support. I just dragged it, and I took the box from the close of last week, and that is also combined with this low. Go down to the daily chart. So previous support becomes new resistance. And we don't see so much right here how to use another Fibonacci. So that's when I go to the 4-hourly chart, because you can see more clear where the lower lows and lower high is. Yeah. So what I did was that I took the Fibonacci from this last small lower high from 34,770 back to the end, to the low of this week, that I do believe Bitcoin will come back down to 25,272. And that is also combined, the 61.8% is combined with the support that we did break. And if we zoom in, you could also see how we saw the market came back up and retested this level and saw the market come back down a little bit. This is where the most important thing is for me, at least, because when we see the market in a downtrend like this is the pullback. So a lot of people can be confused when they see the pullback and they think like, oh yeah, the market is going up right now. And then from nowhere, you see the market break down and continues to the downside. What they don't understand is that we are below the support, the previous support, turn it into a resistance. We're also inside the Fibonacci levels, which is really important. And we are, what happened was that we broke the higher low, the last higher low. In this case, what we see right now, as I told you, this is the pullback. So so as long as we're creating higher lows, we are still in a uptrend because it's the higher lows that maintain the uptrend. And based on that, we understand that we can't, or at least that's how I saw it. We came up and retested this Fibonacci levels combined with the support. I understood that from these levels, we could see the break to the downside because this is only the pullback. This is the retracement move. And what I expect the market is come back down, the next impulsive move back down to 25,300 right now. That's what I see. So I took the other Fibonacci from the last high to the low because we broke structure when we broke the previous higher low, created a lower low, and now we see the market pull back up to the Fibonacci levels at 30,000 and 30,300. This is where I do believe the market will pull back up to. But this is where I see the market pull back up to then reverse back down. But when I bought the market right here, I only bought the market because this was the pullback. So what I did was that I went down to the lower time frames. We saw the break of structure, but because I know how market structure is working, I took another trend line because as long as we're below this trend line, still creating lower lows and lower highs, what happens right here? We broke structure because we try, okay, it doesn't look that good, but we broke the previous lower high, created a higher high. So this is what I did then, because now I know around these levels, I expect the market to pull back up, right, to create the lower high. So this is where I scalp the market or day trade. So I took another Fibonacci now when we saw the break of the resistance trend line. I took another fib from 28,650 to the higher high to at 29,294. Market came back down. I bought the market right here because I saw the market push back up to these levels. So that is why I bought the market at this level. I have the take profit where I also have my sell limit order where I do expect the market then to reverse back down. So
very nice. I was just seeing, you actually getting into those, looking at the longer time frame, getting into, that potential short, now getting into that long from this pullback, because we're getting bouncing back up, using the Fibonacci extension as in where the price target could go. I can see this 0.75, 1.2 as the extension where it could actually stop, and then hitting the 618 again from the actual drop to continue the downtrend. I mean, this is how you just need to zoom out and on each time frame and going from swing trading to day trading to scalping.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is why I love the Fibonacci. And this is why I will never stop talking about Fibonacci, because the Fibonacci respects each other's Fibonacci's on every time frame. So what I do is that I just try to combine the higher time frames with the lower time frames and try to understand market structure on the higher time frames. And okay, so if the market is in a downtrend on the 4 hourly, on the 1 hour, we just might see the pullback. So what do I do with that? So the good thing when we understand how to use the Fibonacci with trend lines, etc., you can just puzzle everything together. And that's what I think is really cool when I realized, especially when I started to use the trend line combined with the Fibonacci, you see the break of structure, you use the Fibonacci because Fibonacci is where you see the pullback, the higher low or the lower high, because at the higher low, you buy the market, at the lower high, you sell the market. So at the moment, I just wait for to Bitcoin to pull back up to, I do have my take profit at 30,100. So it's between the 1561% at 29,970 and 30,280. And from these levels, if I just gonna clean out the charts, what I will do at that point, I'm just gonna take that back. I will do the same thing. So I'm gonna take this trend line away. So because we know that in a uptrend, the higher low is maintaining the higher lows, right? So if I see another pullback to the downside and we're still above the support trend line, we can still push back up. But then when we come back up to the Fibonacci levels where I do expect the market to reverse back down from, we will see the market break the support trend line, break the higher low, create a lower low. I use another Fibonacci at that point to figure out where is the next lower high. I drag it from the last high to the new lower low, and Fibonacci will calculate where that lower high can be. And that's when I choose, or obviously we need to look at candlesticks, how it looks, etc. But that is usually what happens, is that the market just break down from that level. So it is the same thing when it comes to when I bought the market. We saw the break of the resistance trend line. I used the Fibonacci. In this case, we are using the support trend line. When we see the break of it, we use the Fibonacci. So that is just like how I do it. And
market structure and Fibonacci price action, it's just what it does. You don't need much more than that, basically.
No.
I like to use different patterns, VPVR, but it's just because I'm used to it and I really like it. But definitely, this is the key. This is the key thing for actually analysis, market structure, Fibonacci, which is absolutely amazing. Sometimes it works like clockwork because it goes to the 50% or the 618. And also those extensions, also 0.23 hit, almost 100% of the times, of course. And then the next levels. Absolutely amazing, Nathalie. That was a great analysis. So you do think that we are going to come down to that $25,000 in the next few days, maybe 1 week or so after this kind of pullback that we're having right now?
Yeah, exactly. So if we look at the higher perspective, after this huge drop that we did, I'm just going to take everything away. After this huge drop that we've had to the downside, if we would see the market from nowhere having a momentum to the upside, we need to break certain levels for me to
be bullish.
Yeah, exactly, because it's still a heavily downtrend. And looking at overall, I do believe that we will come back down. But I think that we will consolidate in between the 25K and potentially 32,000 or 33,000 before we break to the upside, because I definitely believe that Bitcoin will create another high, all-time high, not now, but I definitely believe that we are in a super great level where we can expect the market in a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, because on the higher time frames, obviously take a longer time, but slowly and steady, I do believe that we will break to the upside. But one thing that I think a lot of people need to have in mind is that when we are inside such a huge Fibonacci, it usually market is using this as a support and resistance zone. And that means that we are consolidating, and that means that it's so easy for us to get faked out, because you just might see the market break the support, you come back up and we try to break the resistance, then we come back down to the support again, and so many people are so confused, and then you see the huge momentum to the upside, and everyone's like, what's happening? But we were just inside the consolidation market, and we were just prepared to see the movements to the upside.
All right, amazing, Nathalie. That's an incredible analysis. Thank you very much for giving us your opinion. So you do think that Bitcoin is not going to go to 18,000 or 10,000? Even some people are saying that Bitcoin could potentially go. I personally don't think we're going to go that low.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
We'll be staying above $20,000 for a potential bottom, I think, in the next few months. All right, Nathalie, thank you very much. Anything else you want to say to the community? Guys, Nathalie's channel will be down below, Nathalie Bitcoinsensus. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Nathalie, anything to say to my community?
Welcome to my channel. If you choose to subscribe, you should definitely do that. And I have morning live streams every single day, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. Swedish time. So 1 hour before London session, because I just want to go through with everyone before the whole day starts, before the market starts to be very volatile. It's very good to look at the charts before everything starts. So we know during the day what levels we're reaching. Are we in a downtrend? Where can the lower high or higher low be? So every single morning, Monday to Friday, I have the morning live streams, and people love it. People love it. It goes so good. So
absolutely,
don't forget to be on these live streams. It's great.
Check it out, guys. Check it out. I have to start doing that also myself. See how it goes. All right, Nathalie, thank you very much. And I will see you very, very soon in the next one.
Yeah, bye.